Good evening. Appreciate you being here tonight. As you filter in, that's okay. This is one of our favorite evenings. My name is Jacob Holt. I'm the principal of Bret Harte High School, and I welcome you. Hopefully this is not your first time, and it certainly won't be your last time coming to this theater, coming to our school, and enjoying all the programs we have here. I'd like to thank and welcome a couple people that are here to help us facilitate tonight. So first and foremost, they're out as you're picking up your packets. I want to thank two people in particular who have helped tonight happen. Courtney Brookshire and Tyra Dragmanovich. They have worked for weeks and weeks and weeks to help tonight happen. So I very much appreciate all that effort. What your students are experiencing right now, what your children are experiencing, what you are going to be able to participate is because of their efforts and the efforts of the rest of our staff. So I appreciate them. We also have a few people here to help tonight continue to go smooth. So we have our board members here tonight. I'll go ahead and quickly introduce them. We gave them sort of the night off. Instead of sending them to specific stations, we have them here to help you navigate things that we have set up tonight. So we have Gail Bungie. Yes, I got it right finally, sorry. So we have Gail Bungie, Joan Lark, Kelly Sen, Dr. Roger Norman, and Sheila Kirpin. There it is, sorry about that. So we appreciate you being here tonight. We also have Brian Barnett, our athletic director. He's going to be here. And our superintendent, Mike Chimente, unfortunately, he was unable to attend tonight, but he extends his enthusiasm for tonight. And then I'll talk a little bit about next week. He'll be able to join us, so we'll be able to meet with him next week as well. So tonight is our 8th grade Expo. It's a wonderful night. It's a way to introduce you to our school, our programs. If you have a student here already or a student who's already graduated and you think you got Bret Harte figured out, not quite. We're constantly changing and evolving and improving and looking at ways to do things differently. And so we're going to start off tonight briefly with a video highlighting some of the things we have going on. And then I'll talk a little bit about our packets that you received as you came in. And then Brian will talk to us a little bit about athletics. So let's go ahead and watch our little video about our programs here at Bret Harte.
Today is March 16th, 2022. On June 5th, 2026, you will graduate from high school. March 16th, June 5th, important numbers. But what really matters is what happens in between.
Okay, there are a couple dates in there, a couple of years, March 16, 2022, that's right now. In June 2026, your child's going to be graduating. And I got to tell you right now, it might feel long way, but that may be the fastest 4 years of your life because it's going to fly by. And perhaps some of the most infuriating 4 years and invigorating 4 years of your life. This is going to be an exciting time. We met earlier with our 8th graders. We got them all excited about coming to Bret Harte. Right now they're doing tours, looking at our elective programs. And as so often happens, we left you with all the dirty work. That's why you got the paperwork. That's why you got the less exciting stuff. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But one thing I want to stress is that we have a number of things that we're extremely proud of at Bret Harte. One of the things that I'm most proud of is that it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you get excited about, we have a place for that student here. We have tremendous amount of elective programs, clubs, sports, mentoring opportunities, internship opportunities, career options that we can get students connected into. For being the small school that we have, we very much look like a big organization with all the things that we're able to support our students with. And so what we're stressing to our students and what we're stressing to you is that if you, at any time somebody feels lost, we will find a place for your student. We will find a connection. It could be in sports. It could be in clubs. It could be for some of our students, it's the after-school tutorial that we provide. For some of our students, it's the clubs. It's FFA. It's FCCLA. And you may not know those letters, but now your students do. That's what we have here at Bret Harte. And that's what separates us from so many other places. We have invested in that, and we have determined that those are some of the highest priorities here at Bret Harte, and that's what gives us this great environment for the next 4 years. Now, for the next 4 years, as your student is going through high school, you may want to pull back. You may want to say, all right, you get to make your own decisions. I'm here to tell you that is not the right move. Right now is the most important time for you to have those battles with your child and helping them make those decisions, because the decisions that they will make beginning tonight, beginning next week, will have ramifications for the rest of their life. These 4 years are going to be some of the most bizarre and memorable 4 years of a student's life. So we are privileged, and we take that privilege extremely seriously in being able to support you with that. We've got your back. We're going to make sure that your students graduate. We're going to make sure that they start off on their life on the right foot. We're going to make sure that we are partners with you to make sure they're successful in their life. Whatever their choices are, we're excited to help them not only just make that choice, but then push them to do a little bit more, always to try to strive to do more. So we're excited to have new bullfrogs coming in. Every year, it's so exciting to see that people keep coming. And it's because we're passionate about this. Now, before I turn the time over to Mr. Barnett to talk a little bit about athletics, I want to talk a little bit about what's in your packet that you received. So this is a registration packet. It has some very important information, and you're going to need to hold on to this information and work on this with your student. It doesn't have to be tonight, but one of the things that you're going to do is after we're done in here, we're going to go over into our cafeteria multi-purpose room, and you're going to have an opportunity to talk to teachers about their programs and learn a little bit more. But also, and this affects me, so I think it's the most important thing, you're going to sign up for next week for a registration meeting. We're going to meet with you one-on-one to look at what your child is going to sign up for next year, answer questions, be able to hopefully alleviate any fears. I'll be honest, I right now currently have a 7th grader, so looking out at these 8th graders, it started making my heart pound because, oh my goodness, my kid's going to be here. I will know what you're feeling very soon. So that's why I take our job very seriously. So you have a welcome letter. That's that purple letter. If you haven't realized, we very much like purple around here. Okay, so you have that purple welcome letter. And then the next piece that I want you to spend some time talking with your students about is this course request letter. Okay, this is going to help guide you and your student in choosing their classes for next year. And that's what we're going to meet about next week. So next year, your student will sign up for 8 classes. Okay, we're a semester-long system, so 8 classes one semester, and most likely those same 8 classes the second semester. The first semester goes from August to December, and the second semester is January to June. There are some classes that every student will be signed up for next year, and those are already listed down there for you. So every student is going to be in English 9. Every student is going to be in freshman requirements next year, every 9th grader. Every student will be in PE 1. But then there are some things that will change depending upon where your student is. So you'll have to sign up for a math class. And most likely, your student has already taken the math placement exam, and we have recommendations, so we'll be able to talk to you about that math class, but we'll need to put it into our system. You're going to need to sign up for a science class. It's going to be either the Ag Earth Science class, which is you're associated with FFA, the After School Club, or the Earth Space Science class, so one of those two. You're going to sign up then for a couple of electives. So the electives, to me, is what most of us remember. Some of us remember our math class. This is coming from a guy who taught math, so and we have a math teacher right here. Some of us remember that. A lot of us remember our elective classes. Our elective classes are now more programs. So what you'll be seeing in a lot of the options, I'll use culinary. Culinary is a cooking class. It'll say culinary 1. And then next year would be, in the sophomore year, culinary 2, then culinary 3. The idea is that you continue taking these classes so you can continue building on these skills so that hopefully you, a student will maybe even be interested in entering that as a career. Auto 1, Auto 2, Advanced Floral 1, 2, 3. So the idea is these are programs. These are not necessarily meant to be just 1 year and then done. Okay, same how we have math sequences. We build upon each other, even in the elective classes. So that's perhaps one of the most important things. Right now, your students are going around from room to room, from station to station to learn a little bit more about these. There are 2 elective options that a student has in 9th grade. As the student passes classes, there are 2 in sophomore year. In junior, it begins to open up. So in the junior year, students could have 3 to 4, and then in the senior year, a student could have 4 to 5. So there's a lot of opportunities. If a student is taking care of business early on, passing classes, the options open up in the junior and senior year. That's why your influence is so essential. We don't want them to fall behind. If a student doesn't pass a class, they have to retake that class. And take it from somebody who has experience. Retaking that English class doesn't make it more fun the second year around. So you want to help them get through it the first time so they can be successful the next time, and on and on. We'll have college nights and information nights that are coming your way so we can explain how students will graduate, because they all will. How students will move on to either a college, a trade school, 4-year university, or straight into a career. That's our focus. How do we get students moved on to that next level? Some of the other papers that you'll see in your packet, you have our pathways, or series of courses that a student may look at. And then you have just a couple more welcome letters. You have information about athletics, and then information about clubs and organizations. It is those pieces, the clubs, organizations, athletics, that allow a student to be fully connected into our community. And it allows our community to be fully connected into the school. That's an important part. If you're looking at how you can participate in our school, how you can participate in our athletics, that's it. That's right there. Even just coming to the games means so much to our students. Knowing that you're there supporting their efforts. We have amazing programs. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to turn the time over to Mr. Barnett, and then he'll bring it back to me, and we'll finish off the night.
Thank you, Mr. Holt. All right, I'm going to prep you because I did this with your children about 3 hours ago. So I'm prepping you to be ready, and you want to do this better than they did. Okay? So let's go Bullfrogs. So we don't know the clap yet. So, okay, that sounded very similar to your 9th graders, okay? That sounded very similar. They were asleep or whatnot, and all the upperclassmen were here. So we'll try it again. Let's go Bullfrogs. There we go. Okay, so I am your athletic director, Brian Barnett. I came over here. They didn't tell me when I took this job I'd be making these kind of presentations, so here I am. All right, so with our slideshow, this is your athletics presentation. I'm going to go through it really quick Okay, our mission statement, I'm not going to read it word for word, but it's basically saying that we want your kids in athletics to gain the knowledge of the sport, but play with enthusiasm, learn dedication, play with enthusiasm, and take those things that they learn in their sport into their real life, okay? Our vision is to use all those things so that when they leave here, that they have learned that dedication and learned that enthusiasm for whatever they're doing and take it into being an everyday citizen in the community or wherever. So we want them to take what they've learned through athletics and put that out into whatever it is, their relationships, their friendships, all their work and everything that they're doing. So with that said, that's kind of our mission. We want them involved. We want students involved in any aspect, but in athletics, we want them to learn a lot of things with the dedication and all that stuff there. So unlike middle school and elementary school, we have a lot more activities right here. This is our fall, winter, and spring schedule. If you look at our sports, it's not just traditional football, basketball, baseball, volleyball. We have water polo, we have swimming, we have tennis, we have golf. We have an esports team where you're playing video games and competing. We actually got a win today, so that was exciting. I just got an email. It's very new. We have dance, we have cheer, we have, hopefully I didn't miss any of the smaller things that we do, track, tennis, I think I said that. So there are all kinds of sports. Now, these are in the spring, winter, and fall. However, as soon as your child graduates, that's when CIF, the state organization for athletics, lets us grab you. I am also the boys basketball coach. We start summer ball in the middle in June. So we're hoping that your incoming freshmen sign up, show up, and we play about 14 basketball games alone in the month of June and starting into a little bit into July, and then we break till about October. So that's just basketball. Football is doing things. They're doing summer league. Volleyball does a lot. Cross country has summer workouts. There are a lot of sports that once they graduate, we want to see them to start getting them ready for our programs. We've had a lot of success this year. Okay, not like we haven't in the past, but this year alone, we had a section championship in cross country. We had a state competitive girls basketball team that played in the section championship. We had a state wrestler, one state wrestling qualifier. We had the boys basketball made a home game that hasn't happened in a long time. I'm assuming we're gonna have multiple kids going to the state event in track, and our teams are competitive, and the more athletes we have breeds more competition. Okay, so moving through the eligibility, this is probably what's different about high school. What's different about high school athletics compared to middle school versus also your club teams. Club teams cost. High school athletics does not cost you anything. What it does cost you is a little bit of back work where you have to have a physical. You have to register all your insurance and register your student athlete online. That's probably the two biggest hangups that we have when we're getting kids registered for a school sport. They have to have academics based on CIF. They have to attend classes every day. They have to go through a lot of different things that are very similar to middle school, but it's amped up a little bit based on CIF, our state-run organization. Okay, our expectations that we have for student athletes is obviously they're attending practice, they're following the coach's guidelines, they're attending school, they're getting the right GPA, they're being model citizens, kind of role models, and kind of being the leaders on campus. So those are things. The other thing that's different is that we do want our athletes to stand out on campus. So we have game day attire, whether that's a shirt and tie, whether it's a team shirt, so that our teachers and our student body know, hey, that student, why are you wearing a shirt and tie? It makes them, we live by you look good, you feel good, you play good, but it also makes you stand out. So those are things that trying to get that culture going that, hey, we are a different breed of, not different breed, but we are a different on campus because we have a game to go to today and it looks different. And if you look good, you feel good every morning, you're putting on that shirt and tie, or you're getting dressed up with your team shirts, like I'm ready to go. It's time to play my game. So that's really a quick rundown presentation-wise on athletics. I wanted to get here so that I could field a couple questions because we have a table next door for athletics, but I'm going to assume a lot of you will have maybe the same question, and instead of answering it over and over, maybe I could field some of those questions right now. Does anybody have any questions based on athletics at the moment? I'm sure, like me, you'll walk out that door, oh, I should have asked that. I had that question. If not, if you have no questions, you can see me at the athletics table in the multi-purpose room, and that would be my quick, short presentation of athletics. We welcome all your athletes. We want to see them out giving their best, and hopefully we see them this summer or in the fall. Okay? Thank you. Here's Mr. Holt.
Okay, so the next part of our little evening tonight involves you moving around. So we're going to go ahead and end our time here in the theater. What we're going to do is pick up and go out the doors and then go over to our multi-purpose room. If you don't know where that is, that's fine. It's the cafeteria. You're just going to go out the doors and then go through the big gate over there. It's going to swing over to the right and then follow the sea of people. And there we'll be able to sign up for things and ask a bunch of questions. So again, thank you for tonight.